The city boiled beneath the wet asphalt. It was raining lightly but steadily, and each drop sliding down the bus window seemed to mark the time of an invisible clock. Sophia's clock. She had left work late, as always. Tired body, heavy legs, mind on the verge of collapse. Her heels punished the soaked concrete, but she refused to wear sneakers. She still wanted to feel desirable, a strange urge to be seen, or better yet, to be felt. She boarded the bus almost breathless. Packed, sweaty people, pressed together, silent, like a suffocating aquarium of suspended lives. But in the back, an empty seat, or rather, half a seat, a space with a man's body in the middle, and eyes. Lucas's eyes. She hadn't seen Lucas in days. The type who didn't need to say much, just looked, always from the back, always observing, as if he could undress people with his eyes, without asking permission. "It's full," she muttered, more to herself than to him. Lucas raised an eyebrow and gave a crooked smile. "You can sit on my lap. I won't bite." The words were simple, almost innocent, but there was something behind them, like a spark waiting for the right breath. Sophia paused for a second, looked around. Everyone crammed together. Everyone exhausted, no one noticing, and then she sat. His body was warm, his thigh firm, his jeans rough. She settled in carefully, trying to keep a minimum distance, but the bus wouldn't allow it. Every turn, every break was a silent push toward what she wanted most and admitted least. Lucas kept his hands off, for now. But the heat rose. Rose, from her legs, from her center, from a place that had been begging for touch for days. She bit her lip, pretended to look at her phone, but her hip brushed against his. And she felt it. He was there. Hard. Alive. Waiting. "Careful," he murmured, his voice gravelly. "If you keep this up, it's gonna be hard to hide." Sophia swallowed hard. His body seemed to pulse beneath her. A slow, steady rhythm. As if saying, "Come," and she wanted to. More than she should. The bus lurched forward, and Sophia nearly lost balance. Or was it just an excuse to press her hips harder against him? She didn't know anymore. What she knew was the heat, the pulse between her legs, and how his jeans seemed to grow beneath her. "Better now?" she teased, not looking back. Lucas let out a short laugh, the kind that comes from deep in the throat, muffled, like he was holding back with both hands. "You have no idea what you're doing." But she did. She really did. And she liked the idea of playing with fire, especially when the fire was right beneath her. Every jolt of the bus was a disguised push, and she used it, as if doing nothing. But she was. A slight movement of the hips here, a subtle friction there, just enough to tease, to ignite, to push him to the edge. His hand still hadn't touched her, but it trembled, brushing the side of her thigh, the gesture of a man at his limit. She arched slightly, just enough for her breasts to press against, her tight blouse, just enough for him to feel. "Lucas," she whispered. "You're like that because of me?" He bit back his answer, but the pulsing bulge beneath her said everything. Sophia moved again, this time with more intent. It was no longer a disguise. It was choreography, rhythm, a controlled grind, synchronized with the bumps in the road. He moaned, low, almost imperceptible, but she heard it and felt in control. The desolate city outside passed by as a blur of lights and concrete. But inside that bus in the last seat, time had stopped. There was only the touch, the pressure, the tension on the verge of explosion. "If you keep going," he warned. "What?" she provoked, still moving. "I won't last." She turned slightly, just enough to see his face, dilated pupils, a faint sweat on his forehead, his lip bitten. She had never felt so powerful. "Then don't last," she whispered in his ear. No one here will notice. He held his breath. His hands, until then restrained, slid up. First to her waist, then to the inside of her thighs, and finally grabbed her firmly, pulling her deeper against him, guiding the motion, joining the game. Sophia gasped. The pleasure started like a low wave, but growing, a wet heat rising and falling along her spine. Now they moved in the same rhythm, silent, almost motionless on the outside. But inside, they were on fire. The city outside now felt distant, as if the bus floated in a parallel reality, where sound was muffled, time distorted, and desire absolute. Sophia now moved with more purpose, small circles with her hips, like dancing just for him. Her breath was uneven, her skin tingling, her eyes closed. Why is this making me lose control? Because he wants me as much as I want this. Lucas's hand moved up. He pulled her blouse slightly from behind, exposing part of her back. His fingers slid across her hot skin, and she bit her lip to hold back a moan. "Sophia," he whispered, urgent. "If you keep going, I'm going to... What?" she interrupted, not stopping. "Going to show me how much you liked my lap?" He buried his face in her neck, breathed deeply. The scent of skin, sweet sweat, tension. His body trembled, hers pulsed, and then, as if they were one, the moment hit them. A small shiver, a breath held, one more movement, and she felt it. The rigidity, the heat, the silent release of his pleasure beneath her. Lucas moaned softly, muffled against her neck. Sophia closed her eyes tightly, feeling his body give in, lose strength, yet still firm around her. It was like the world had stopped for 3 seconds. She smiled. "Already?" she whispered, teasing. "And I didn't even move that much." He let out a tired laugh, somewhere between relief and delirium. "You're dangerous. And I want round 2. On the way back." Sophia stood as if nothing had happened, smoothed her skirt, fixed her hair, and walked down the bus aisle with the sensuality of someone who knew exactly what she had just done, and what more she could do later. No one on the bus noticed. No one saw. Just a couple sitting, a little too close.